Stefania Zardini Lacedelli. I'm a student of Economics and Management of Arts here at the University, and I attended the course of Foundations of Web-Based Multimedia Communication the last fall 2013 with Professor Szabo here at VIU University. I decided to attend this course because I also work in a museum and I wanted to develop multimedia tools for to improve the user experience. So I decided to apply to develop this thesis project called MQUADRO, which means an extension of the experience at the museum through multimedia and digital tools. I went to Durham at Duke University. I stayed there for 2 months, April and May 2014. And it was a short period but very intense because I could develop more every kind of tool, and especially the exploration part. And I created thematic galleries for the museum and also video guides, and especially interactive video guides and interactive archive about the history also of the collection.
So I'm Szabo from Duke University, and I'm the director of the program called Information Science and Information Studies. I encouraged Stefania to continue her project at Duke because she had already shown such strong interest in thinking about how multimedia communications could transform the museum. The course that I taught at VIU was one in which students who are not technology experts learned about the importance of understanding and creating technology in 21st century environments. She was well prepared to think about how to take the foundation that she received in the class and think about how it could be translated into a specific application. What was unique about her experience, I think, is that she had an opportunity to immerse herself in our environment. We have a lab in ISIS that is part of a larger collection of labs called Media Arts and Sciences, where we're exploring digital humanities and the relationship of technology and new media to transformations of higher education, public humanities, and the arts, and ways in which students from all over the academy and beyond can use these technologies in new ways.
Yeah, in fact, it was for me also educational experience, but also a human experience. I met many students and especially researchers at Duke and within this lab, and I could compare my project with other similar projects focused on the visualization of past and especially to find new ways to transmit cultural heritage. And I think that museums really need these competencies and really need new ways to approach public. So it's very important to know this new reality, and I think it's very innovative, and I hope that I can continue this path and this experience also from Italy. So I've been working since 2011 as responsible of the Educational Department in the Modern Art Museum in Cortina, Mario Rimoldi Modern Art Museum in Cortina. It's an example of academic project applied to a real concrete museum, and I hope that this could be helpful for to improve the public access to this museum, and it's part of a bigger project of accessibility, to improve our accessibility. So the meaning of MQUADRO is M squared, because I'm trying to give more dimension of the museum experience, and that's the reason why this is not only a platform for a museum, in this case an art museum, but it's also a model, an idea, and could have value for other museums or other cultural institutions that wanted to improve their accessibility, because accessibility is not only a physical issue, but is a cognitive issue and also an emotional issue. MQUADRO platform has 4 parts. the exploration, the learning, the activities, and the join us section. And the part I've developed in Durham is the exploration part, in which the user will find video guides about the history of the collection and an interactive archive in which visitors can read the letters and other documents of our collection. With this gallery, we tried to involve people in the user experience, in the online experience. For example, in music gallery, they can choose a music and associate that to a particular painting. And another interactive tool was the draggable palette, because the color vision of a painter is very, very important to understand his way to see the reality. So we tried to find a code to drag the palette on the painting, and the user can drag on the screen and compare the colors with the palette. And in this part it was very important also the contribution to my homeowners, Victoria George, who is an art historian, and it's really nice to meet people within this experience, also outside the academic environment.
One of the things I really appreciated about this project was the way in which we were able to move from the Venice environment and then back into the Duke environment, and to have a more extended engagement with one of the brightest students in the class, being able to develop her project further. Developing the project was something that happened outside of the normal curriculum, and yet has been invaluable in helping me personally think about our new master's program in historical and cultural visualization, where we'll have students doing this kind of online exhibition project. So even though we didn't start out necessarily expecting to seed our new program with the things we've learned, we're already talking about the possibilities of using Stefania's work as an excellent example. Also seeing the ways in which the work that we do in academia can actually have an influence outside of academia is beneficial to all of our students as well. It's not about keeping the academy separate from the world, but really helping to take these ideas that we develop within the university outside of it. This was extra work for me, but it was very positive, wonderful work, because I got to mentor a student who was so excited and so engaged, and who was building upon some of the core principles that we'd begun to think about at VIU. And it's been incredibly valuable for me and for our program to think about how to move this forward. I also felt like this was an excellent example because I had the opportunity to visit the museum, the MQUADRO Museum, and having worked on this project with Stefania for months and seeing the artwork for the first time in the real place, I could appreciate myself, again, the thing that I always tell people, that the online experience doesn't take away from the real experience of the museum, but actually adds to the real experience. You can understand and prepare the materials, but it doesn't compare to the actual experience. It just helps you to understand it more. And that these online galleries can then be something that we could come back to after. So I think that that particular type of lesson is something that we can carry forward as we think about these cultural heritage projects more broadly, whether they're for an art museum or an historical museum, or even for other types of online exhibitions. The model that Stefania has developed is something that we think we may be teaching in other contexts as well. So it's not only going to be used in the museums that she's personally working in, but I hope to use it as a model as I do my own teaching in the future. So really this 1 year's experience to overall is going to turn into something that's much more long-lasting.